This is a discussion on our first condition under the neurologic system. So our topic for this video is on the concept of seizures. Seizure is a condition which is characterized by the rapid firing of electrical impulses in the brain. So when we say seizures, this is a condition which is characterized by the rapid and uncontrolled firing of electrical impulses generated by the neurons. You know, electrical impulses are made by the neurons and being sent to the different muscles for these muscles to have an effect. However, when the firing of these electrical impulses become uncontrolled, we also see them in the form of uncontrolled muscle movements. Seizures are otherwise known as your epilepsy. So in layman, siguro makadungog ta nga naa siya epilepsy or epileptic na siya. But actually, that actually means seizures. So ideally, class, neurons generate electrical impulses. And these electrical impulses, once fired, should stop. However, due to certain conditions, this firing does not stop, which causes an erratic effect on the movement of the muscles. And this is what we see as the seizures or the convulsion, siguro in Bisaya. Now, what are the causes of seizures? On why do seizures occur? Number one, class, pinaka-common nga cause sa seizure is when a patient or a person has electrolyte imbalance. Okay? So when we speak of electrolyte imbalance, put your focus on the electrolyte sodium. Okay? So whether taas ang imong sodium or ubos ang imong sodium, that could lead to seizures. Why is that? Because sodium is the major electrolyte for the brain and for the brain function. Meaning, kung nakay alteration sa level sa imong sodium, whether sobra or daghan, ang epekto ana is neurologic. And the most common neurologic effect of this sodium electrolyte imbalance comes in the form of seizures. Number two, pwede po siya ma-caused by infection. Okay? And when we speak of infection, the most common infection infectious condition are your meningitis. Okay? It could also be caused by an autoimmune condition. Okay? Or a condition wherein your immune system is attacking your own body instead of protecting your body. It could also be caused by a tumor. Okay? Pwede sad siya, no? And most commonly, pwede sad siya ma-cause by trauma. Okay? Head trauma. And when we say head trauma, very common madunggan ninyo sa area perhaps, makadungog mo contusion or concussion. So unsa may difference anang contusion o concussion? When we say contusion with the letter T, remember this is a tear in the brain. Meaning na kay tear or bruise in the brain causing bleeding in the tissues of the brain. So contusion with the letter T, tear. Okay? Concussion. Concussion pertains to the jarring movement of the head. So it's like a blow in the head, causing more severe, more severe effect because generalized man ang iyang effect. Dili pareha sa tear nga it is focused on the particular part na nasamad or na bruise. Ang concussion is the general part of the head. Okay? When a person has a seizure condition, they are often triggered by certain kinds of stimulus. So what could have triggered a seizure or epileptic attack? So pwede na siya class ma-caused by noise, too much noise or bright lights. Okay? It could also be triggered by sleep deprivation. In fact, class, this is one of the most common cause of your triggering factors to seizures. It could also be caused by stress. And it could also be caused by the use of recreational drugs. Okay? Recreational drugs like your ecstasy, like your cocaine, like your methamphetamines. So these are your triggering factors. So meaning to say that when a person has a seizure tendency, we must know on what are those activities that can trigger an epileptic attack or a seizure attack. And most commonly, class, these are those which can cause or trigger it to happen. When we speak of seizures, we actually divide them into two classes, class, depending on the hemisphere of the brain that is affected. So when we say seizures, when only a single hemisphere of the brain is affected, then we call this kind of seizure as a focal seizure. But when the seizure affects both of the hemispheres of the brain, then we call this as your generalized seizure. So duha siya ka klase, depende kung pila ka hemisphere ang affected. Kung usara, focal. Pero kung duha gani ang apektado, then we call it as generalized seizures. When we speak of a focal type of seizure, naapod na siya duha ka klase. So a focal seizure can either be simple or a complex. So you might have heard of complex seizures or simple seizures. So whether simple or complex, class, that is a focal type wherein only a single hemisphere of the brain is affected. Sa simple kind of seizure, the patient or the person remains to be conscious. Bali, he is aware of what is happening. No? There is no loss of consciousness in simple focal seizures. But this is characterized by an overwhelming and an unexplained feelings of happiness, feelings of sadness. O wala jud ka kay balo anong sobra ka kalipay, wala pud ka kay balo nga sobra pud ka kasad. Okay? So this symptom di is actually seizure in itself already. So when there are instances when you are not feeling good and then suddenly you feel super happy or super sad without any reason, it could be a simple focal seizure. But seizures could also be complex focal. So what are the manifestations of a person with a complex focal seizure? So naa kay manotice nga lip smacking. So ang imong pasyente mag-anana. No, nya, wala lang, no? But there is loss of consciousness, meaning you are not aware that these are happening. Okay? So it is commonly manifested by lip smacking without the person knowing that he is doing so. Aside from that, you would also notice automatism. Unsa man na siyang automatism. This is the act wherein a person repeats his movement. Sige lang kag balik-balik og lakaw, wala ka kay bawog asa ka padong, balik niya, balik. Sige lang kag balik. And you are not aware that this actually is happening to you. There is no consciousness of the act. So ang difference sa simple o sa complex is ang sa simple, you are conscious of the things that's happening around, but there is an overwhelming, unexplained feelings of sadness or happiness. Pero sa complex, you are not aware that you are already lip smacking or you had been repeating your movements, a manifestation called as automatism. Okay? So that is your focal seizure where only one hemisphere of the brain is affected. But when two hemispheres of the brain is already affected, then we manifest this in the form of generalized seizures. Your generalized seizures comes in two different forms. Number one, naka-generalized seizure called as grand mal or your tonic-clonic seizures. Okay. So grand mal or tonic-clonic seizures is a generalized seizures, meaning there is a convulsion, there is a contraction, an uncontrolled contraction in all muscles of the body. Okay, so it is generalized. And when we speak of generalized seizures or grand mal seizures, they come into different stages or they come into different phases. Unsa man ang first phase of your grand mal seizure? Number one, you begin with the pre-ictal phase. Unsa man na siyang pre-ictal phase? This is the period where your patient experiences an aura. Unsa man ang aura, class? These are events or experiences of a person immediately before he goes into seizures. So naa kay murag warning sign nga padung na di ay ka mag-generalized seizure. You call it pre-ictal or aura. Okay? Unsa may mga examples of aura, for example, no? You have metallic taste, no? Naa kay malasahan nga murag wa man ka nagkaon, but you feel as if murag lain apod imuhang dila, no? You could see sudden flashes of lights. You could smell a burnt flesh or sudden feelings of epigastric pain. So these are already warning signs, class, that you are about to enter into a grand mal or tonic-clonic seizure. So naa kay warning. And I remember one board exam question that was asked before. Maria is pregnant, this and this. Which of the following aura is expected? The answer is epigastric pain. Okay? So basta gani mapdos, ang pinaka-common nga aura or aura that they would manifest is epigastric pain. This epigastric pain is attributable to a reduction in the blood supply to the pancreas of a woman who has PIH. Okay? Pregnancy-induced hypertension. Okay? And after the aura or the pre-ictal phase, the patient proceeds into a phase called your tonic phase. Unsa man na siyang tonic phase? From the word itself, tonic. So this is a period where the patient becomes stiff. Mugahi pag-ayo imuhang pasyente, unya mo arc dayon na ang iyahang back. Okay? And manotice po nimo during the tonic phase, there is an abrupt or sudden closure of the jaws, clenching of the jaws. Okay? So meaning, if the patient has already clenched his jaw, he is already on the tonic phase. And a question might be asked, pwede pa ba kung magbutang og padded tongue depressor kung nag-clench na ang jaws sa akong pasyente? The answer is, dili na pwede. Okay? Pwede ra ka magbutang og padded tongue depressor during the aura phase. Dili na ka pwede mo gamit anak kung nagsugod na ang seizure because that can just cause trauma to the gums of the patient or worse, mahurot ng iyahang ngipon kaimo man ang ipugos. Okay? So in tonic phase, the body becomes stiff, there's arcing of the body, and the jaws completely or abruptly closes. Okay? And pinaka-highlight there is a tonic phase, class, is that not only is that the muscles of the body become stiff, but also your lungs, being a muscle, likewise becomes stiff. Okay? Such that a person in the tonic phase is not breathing. Okay? There is cessation in breathing. Mao na kung mahuwasan na sila, pertigyong kutasa. Kay niutong sila for that period wherein the tonic phase has existed. Okay? And this usually, class, on the average, lasts for 20 seconds. The third phase of your grand mal seizure or tonic-clonic seizure is your clonic phase. Okay? Clonic phase, from the word itself, clonic or clonos, this is the period where the patient manifests involuntary jerking movements. So involuntary jerking movements accompanied by the contraction of the bladder, causing the patient to defecate or to urinate. So inikahuman og seizure sa pasyente, makabantay ka nga nakaihi na ang imuhang pasyente. Okay? Or nakalibang ang imuhang pasyente. If that comes out, no, if nakabantay na kaana nga phase, then you know that the patient has progressed to the third stage, which is the clonic phase. And usually, class, your clonic phase lasts for 30 to 40 seconds. So dali ra na sa timan ano kay 20 seconds ang tonic, 30 to 40 ang imuhang clonic phase. Okay? And then the last phase of your grand mal or tonic-clonic seizure is called your post-ictal phase. Unsa man na siyang post-ictal phase? This is the period where the patient becomes semi-comatose. Okay? So he is slightly aware that something is wrong but not fully aware of what really is wrong. So post-ictal, you are semi-comatose and there are feelings of drowsiness, pertigyong dukaa. You are already on the post-ictal phase. And what is the very important nursing action to do once we reach the post-ictal phase is to reorient the patient. Nga naman, class, inigabot manggod sa post-ictal phase, mura galibog ng imuhang pasyente kung what actually has happened. Okay? So, imo siyang pasabton that he's gone into this and that. You reorient your patient. Okay? So, this is your first kind of generalized seizure or a seizure which affects two hemispheres of the brain. Another kind of generalized seizure is your absence seizure. Absence seizure are otherwise known as your petit mal. So duha day kabuok, sir, ang imuhang generalized seizure? Yes. Na ay grand, na ay petit. Grand mal or generalized absence or petit mal. Okay? And your petit mal, because it's petit, is also called as your little sickness. Petit mal or your little sickness. So what makes it different from grand mal is that your absence seizure is not preceded by an aura. Wala ka atong mga sensations na imong ma-feel as a prelude to the convulsions. And there is also no tonic and clonic phases. So wala tong stiffness, wala tong involuntary jerking movement. Okay? So what makes it a petit mal or an absence seizure is the fact that there is a sudden cessation of activities characterized by blank facial expressions. And this usually lasts class for 30 seconds. And your patient would manifest autism-like symptoms. Unsa man ang mga autism-like symptoms? Like your lip smacking. Okay? So that is also an example, no? That is also a manifestation of a patient with petit mal seizures. Okay, so to review, your seizures could either be focal or general. It is focal when it affects a single hemisphere of the brain, and it is general when it affects two hemispheres of the brain. A focal seizure is either simple or complex. It is simple when there is no loss of consciousness, and it is complex when there is loss of consciousness. Ang sa generalized, duha po, na ay grand, na ay petit. At sa other name sa grand mal, tonic-clonic. What makes it tonic-clonic? Kay naa siya 4 phases. Aura, tonic, clonic, post-ictal. Unsay nahitabo sa pre-ictal or sa aura, naa kay ma-feel nga mga symptoms before ka mag-seizure. Like makasimhot ka o buhok na nasunog, musakit imuhang tiyan, flashes of light, metallic taste. So naa kay mga experiences before ka mokirig. Then mokirig na kagsugod. Inikirig nimo, mugahi tibuok nimong muscle sa tibuok nimong kalawasan. And it lasts for around 20 seconds. After mugahi, na nakay jerking movement or clonus, which lasts for 30 to 40 seconds. And after that, you enter into a semi-comatose phase called your post-ictal. And remember what to do in the post-ictal phase. You must reorient your patient. A second type of generalized seizure is your absence seizure, otherwise known as petit mal or little sickness. Opposite siya kay wala siya aura, wala siya tonic, wala siya clonic, pero naa kay autism-like symptoms just like your lip smacking. And this is usually characterized by sudden cessation of activities with blank facial expressions. Okay? Now, a seizure may begin to be simple, no? Focus on a body part and then progress to become or to involve the rest of the body parts. We call that kind of seizure class as Jacksonian seizure. Unsa ganin ang Jacksonian seizure? This starts within a group of muscles. Let's say nagsugod lang siya sa imuhang kamot, no? Nagsugod siya sa imong kamot, unya day naginahinay na siya katag sa tibuok nimong kalawasan. Mura kag si Michael Jackson dance, kanang pinaana-ana nga dance, no? Pinaana-ana nga dance. Meaning it begins with a single limb and it progresses to the rest of the body. You call that your Jacksonian seizures. Now, how is seizure diagnosed? Okay. How is seizure diagnosed? The highly used diagnostic test for seizure is your EEG, electroencephalogram. And when your patients need to undergo electroencephalogram, what are those important nursing considerations? Number one, pagamita in taon na siya shampoo before magpa-check up, no? Pakaligoon ang pasyente, pagamiton og shampoo. Ano man, we need to take away the excess oils from the hair, no? Excess oils from the hair so that our results in the EEG will not be altered. And number two, para dili ta makakuha og false elevated result, dapat avoid ka og caffeine, colas, teas. You avoid your stimulants or even medications like anticonvulsants for at least 24 hours before the procedure. Okay? So, this is the most common diagnostic test. Although naman po tayo laing nga mga diagnostic test class, no? Like CT scan, MRI, lumbar tap in the case of meningitis, and some other tests. But what is so useful to patients with seizure is your EEG. It is a test which is used to measure the electrical activities in the brain. Now, let's go to the effects of seizure. What if the seizure has not been managed well? Unsa may epekto sa seizure? No? So it's quite confusing for me on why I receive excuse letters saying nga naa siya seizure problems. When I ask how long does your seizure take? Usually moingon sila class nga 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and that is close to impossible, no? Because in fact, we call that already as a state of status epilepticus. Some na siyang status epilepticus. It is a kind of seizure which exceeds 5 minutes. Okay? Ang brain mangod class, ma-deprive na nimo. Diba? Tanawa ng seizure. Sa may mahitabo sa seizure, mugahi imuhang mga kamasulan sa lawas. Is your lungs a muscle? Yes. So kung mo-contract or mugahi ng imuhang lungs, can it function to aerate the body? Di ba dili? So our brain can only tolerate 1 to 3 minutes of deprivation of oxygen. Maabot na gani kag 5 minutes, that could lead to irreversible brain damage. With more reason kung 10 minutes or 15 minutes kang seizure din ha. So that's close to impossible and I cannot believe that. No? Seizure could only last for a maximum of 3 minutes perhaps. Never more than 5 minutes because it's an emergency situation already. In fact, kana more than 5 minutes na gani class, status epilepticus na na. And we need a fast-acting medication. And the medication for your status epilepticus is lorazepam ativan or your diazepam Valium. Intravenous pa man gani na nato ihatag para rapid acting ang imuhang medication. Okay? Now, so unsay ato ang dili gusto nga mahitabo kung naay seizure problem ang pasyente? It's the irreversible brain damage, no, that could happen to the brain because the brain could only tolerate up to 3 minutes of oxygen deprivation. Abot na gani kag 5 na 50-50 na gid na imong kinabuhi. Samot nag 10 minutes, 15 minutes naa sa excuse letter class. Naa sa excuse letter. So kung ingon ana man lang gani murag delikado, no, murag kalag na siguro na akong kasturya. Okay? So now, if that is the effect, no, if it could cause irreversible brain damage, how then should nurses manage seizures? Okay? How then should nurses manage seizures? What we do, class, is your rapid assessment, no? And we know of the mnemonic BFAST. Ba? We know of the mnemonic BFAST. No? So we can also use this for seizures, but I will elaborate BFAST class in the case of stroke. Okay? So let's focus on nag-seizure imong pasyente. Juan de la Cruz nag-seizure. Unsa man imong buhaton kung ikaw ang nurse ni Juan de la Cruz? Unsa may imuhang buhaton? No? Nag-seizure siya din ha. So what will you do? Number one, you must have to loosen the restrictive clothing of the patient. So kung nag-necktie ng imong pasyente at ang tanga sa iyahang necktie, okay? Then you raise the side rails. Kay delikado mahulog imong pasyente. So since delikado man siya mahulog, question, can you restrain the patient during seizures? Sir, amo lang siyang higtan kay basin mahulog siya. Can you restrain a patient during seizure? The answer is no. Dili ka pwede mag-restrain because that can cause fracture. Grabe ka-rigid ang iyahang muscles. Ang iyahang muscles are contracting very strongly such that when you restrain him, that can cause injury. Okay? So no restraints to patient during seizures. You need to put aside any furniture, no, that might hurt or harm the patient. Okay? So kung ang imong pasyente naa sa sahog, butangan nimo unlan ang ihang ulo, niya kuhaon nimo ang mga furnitures nga naa sa iyang mga kilid-kilid. Pero kung ang imong pasyente naa sa bed, you take out the pillows. Dili mag-unlan basta nag-seizure naa sa bed. Nga naman pwede siya ma-suffocate anang pillow nga naa sa iyang tupad. Okay? Then you administer oxygen, no? At full 10 liters. Okay? And you need to take note of the duration of the seizure. Okay? Very important, class. You take note of the length of time upon which the seizure has occurred. And when your patient has recovered from seizure, remember to turn the patient to side. Say purpose, ana, to prevent aspiration. Okay? And of course, administer your medications. Your medications, class, are generally called anticonvulsants. And what are examples of anticonvulsants? You have diazepam, Valium. You have carbamazepine, Tegretol, Mazepin, Zepin, and you also have phenytoin, Dilantin. Okay? So these are the medications you expect to give in a patient with a seizure attack. So that ends our discussion on seizure. Next discussion will be on stroke.